Hey, hi everybody. Recruiting Animal here on February 25, 2026. Nobody's here yet. Let's wait just for a second and see who shows, because I've got plenty of questions for them. I'm going to test them like they've never been tested before. But you know what's going to happen? They're going to tell me, "Oh, Animal, you always just bring boring questions." Okay? Well, we'll just see about that.
Animal, this is a much better topic. Have you guys noticed that the world has just gotten dumber? Like clients, candidates, they lie more. They make ignorant decisions that lack any real thought. I just find both sides right now.
Give an example. I mean, like who?
They're dumb and they're selfish. A lot of selfishness.
100% selfish. But Animal, like dumb, like
what does the selfish mean? I want a good salary. Okay,
No,
I
no,
don't
no,
want to
it's
work
all
like a slave.
No, not at all. Not wanting to help their fellow man, not wanting to just be nice. Be fucking nice.
I have a perfect example for you. I placed a guy at a startup. You go to a startup, you know you're going to wear a lot of hats. You're going to be involved in a lot of things. This guy, he literally told his boss, he's like, "Well, if I'm not gonna get any commission on this, why am I going to do it?" Like, in theory, it makes sense, but when you go to a startup and your job is in this case, a pre-sales engineer who works with the sales guy, your job is not to do the deal. It is to give the deal to the rep to close. Just because you think you can do it doesn't mean you should do it. And then say you're not going to get an additional commission for it because you'd already get a commission.
Was this your candidate?
This is the guy I placed. He's working there.
And what, didn't you tell him what it's like going in there? You tell us 100 times over already.
Oh my God.
Go into
All right,
startup.
so Tom, you and I are going to talk because Animal doesn't understand how this recruiting thing works. All right, you get the guy in. Just because you tell them doesn't mean they're going to follow what you say. All right, they're human beings. We tell
how
you.
Did you find out? How do you find out about his misbehavior? Did the client call you and say, "What's?"
I talked to the CEO. I've talked to his direct boss, and I've talked to the candidate. The candidate.
Did you say, "Billy, I told you what it's like here before you go in," and you nodded your head and said, "Yeah, I want that job"?
But the candidate is, to Tom's point, is selfish, thinks he's better than everyone, thinks he deserves everything, since he deserves all the praise and credit, thinks he should talk directly to the CEO, not his boss.
It's called I don't know, yes, you want to be rewarded for your results and everything, but Rich and I wouldn't do the stuff we do. I don't do the stuff I do for money, right? Yeah. And I try to explain, like Nucor, my big client, right? They're all about teamwork, right? So if someone needs help, you fucking help them, and you don't ask, "What am I going to get paid for this?"
Yeah,
it happens 10 times in a row, and your guy's making a double. Then you have a problem, but you help your teammates.
But that's it. You actually, you're part of a company, especially it's one thing at a big company, where you
grab water. I'm listening.
Yeah, which you should still help. But at a startup, at a young company that's growing and trying and figuring it all out, you knew that when you walked in, that's what it's going to be. So why would you jeopardize everything? Because every person is very valuable at a young company.
Rich doesn't realize he's making himself.
Holy shit! No, he's not. That's a fucking great example. No, that's a great fucking example. A startup company. You're going to a company to help the whole company grow. You're in the very early infancy of it. So everything you do for that company is going to come back to you 10 fucking million times over. Because if you grow that company, all of a sudden you have stock and you're a manager. They looked at you were the guy there in the very beginning to help grow the company. For when they sell it to Google for 10 billion, you get $1 billion fucking dollars or whatever it is. Jesus fucking Christ, man. That's exactly what a startup is about.
That's why you go to startups. You're not going for the base.
I had to run back when I heard you start to go.
I'll give you your 2 seconds, but that's stupid, okay?
It's not stupid.
This guy said on social media this week, he said, "I've run 7 companies, and if there's one thing I've learned, one dickhead can cost you more money than 3 good people can make for you." And
that's exactly right.
And one of the great things about hiring a recruiter is we keep you from hiring dickheads. And what's Rich saying here? I gave him a dickhead and I didn't know it, okay?
It happens to people, man. You can't prevent everything.
I mean, seriously. Lord.
Like the guy knows he's going to a startup. You're telling him, hey, this is a startup. You're going to help this company grow. Who knows where I use this term, right? I have this one company, and I'll say, imagine, and this is a construction company. Imagine if you were to get into Turner Construction 35 or 40 years ago. Imagine where you'd be today. Right? Like, imagine if you got in with AI, if you got in with OpenAI day one, if you got in with Microsoft day one, like that's what we're talking about when we talk about these startup companies or these small, that's how I sell smaller companies that are growing, right? The small company that's growing, that's how I sell them, right? I'm like, imagine getting in the early stages of a big design build firm that's doing $400 million a year. This is where this company's going. So you need people that buy into that. And if this guy bought into it and then goes there and pulls that shit, he's a fucking moron.
I gotta say,
he's a moron, but Rich should have helped that guy out with his 27 years of experience. Right. He should know.
Oh my God, hang on. Listen, number one, I don't sell it like Tommy sells it. I do it sometimes, but 99% of the time it's me saying, hey, great opportunity, it's early, it's exciting, but that's software. It's a different world than construction.
Yeah.
But I tell these guys exactly what they're walking into. There should be no surprises to what they're going to deal, what their day is going to look like, what the culture is. And you cannot help people. People are going to do what they want to do. They're going to hear what they want to hear. I mean, the fact that you think it's the recruiter's fault, Animal, is actually borderline offensive. It really is. The end of the day is everyone interviews these people. I'm bringing them what they're asking for. They determine if this person a fit or not. I try to figure out if this guy's. I just sent a guy in today. I told the client this is the only reason I'm sending him in. Otherwise, I don't think he's that good. But he fits this criteria. That's a tough criteria. You decide what you want to do. Not my problem.
In your world, I would sell, hey, it's a startup. So you know what's either going to happen? You're going to become a multimillionaire or you're going to go find a new job in 2 years. But you have to dig into it and be part of the team to help this company grow. Is it going to succeed? I have no idea. But it's a growing company with a good investment and a lot of money.
Tommy, just calm down for a sec. This guy didn't realize, or no one told him, the fundamental principle of going into a small shop.
No, someone told him
you got to wear many hats.
Someone told him that he didn't fucking listen.
Hats. You're not working in a union club where it's all divided every function.
You can't make a stupid comment and then ramble on. All right, listen, I forget what I got. At the end of the day, this guy knew exactly what he was walking into. But what he thought was, to Tommy's earlier point that brought this all up, he was selfish. He went in there thinking, because he was a big tough guy from a bigger company, that he knew more than this little company, and that he would be able to leapfrog his manager and have direct access and input into everything that goes on in the company. That's the problem. It's not that anyone
notebook LM. I remember everything you said in the past.
No. You remember partial things of everything people say.
No. You told us that people coming from big companies don't do well in startups, and now you place this guy from a big company,
and nothing's fucking black and white.
Seriously, listen. First of all, I've had conversation with the CEO saying, this is the problem with the people you want. There you go, Tommy. Two.
I need more to drink.
And two, the company, what they sell, unfortunately, the only other people that sell it essentially are big companies. The founder of this company created one of the biggest players in this particular software niche. And all the people they want are from basically two different companies that are large companies that generally I would not take for a startup. And I've told them that, but they want the domain expertise. That's what's most important to them. I don't agree. Not my problem to agree, though, is it?
Okay. If we beat the death this one, Alan, do you want?
I want to know. Wait, I want to get your answer.
Wait, Rich, I have an answer. I have a question.
Wait,
yes,
Animal,
it is.
To send them. To send them what they ask for, despite me telling them they shouldn't. That's not what they should look for.
In my experience,
that's why I wanted to ask. Did you tell them, hey, you know that in my 27 years of doing this, the chances of a guy from a big company coming on and working out is going to be slim and none and slip and left town?
30 years of doing this, and yes, I have told them repeatedly. The problem is they also wanted a person in a certain location when they didn't need it. I'm like, you're limiting your pool to this guys from these particular companies and in a certain location. So, needless to say,
He did nothing wrong, Animal. He listened exactly. He told the company what they should do. They said, no, we're not going to listen to you. We want to do this. Bring us this. He brought them that. It's not Rich's fault.
I literally placed 9 people with them last year. I mean, there's their entire sales and pre-sales team, except for one guy.
Let me ask you a question. If they said, Rich, we're firing this guy, and we want you to replace him, what are you going to say?
Great. Here's a new engagement fee.
How long has he been there?
How long's he been there? Yeah.
This guy has been there for about 6 months, 7 months.
Yeah. Here's a new engagement fee.
I mean,
especially since you didn't listen to me.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I would say. Guys, look, I get it. I understand. We went round and round to this when we wrote the search. I told you this wasn't going to work. I did what you told me to do. He didn't work out. It's going to cost you full fee again. I told you.
This company is great. Like, I really love the leadership to be because you can have a real conversation. And it's not just a one-sided, hey, listen to us. The CEO's awesome. The head of this department's great. I placed their head of sales. He's great. He was a rep that moved up. It's a great group, but they're pigeonholed because they need certain domain expertise, they feel, because they don't have the bandwidth to teach it to people. So they're trying to screen for certain things. But listen, Animal, you always think hiring is 100%. Everyone you hire is going to work out. And that is absolutely never going to happen.
I'm going to start calling you the Teflon recruiter. Nothing sticks. It's not my fault. Nothing sticks to me. Okay.
That's the recruiter's fault. But how is a recruiter responsible for what happened after you make the intro?
I wish I was more like you, but if I tell them don't hire this guy, and this happened to me in the past, and they hire him, I clearly say hire a candidate B, not candidate A, and they go for candidate A, and he doesn't work out. I feel guilty. Okay, I brought them.
Why do you feel guilty?
Seriously. I mean, seriously, what did you do wrong?
I thank God they found out about this guy from me, okay? Yeah, and they blame me. They don't say, "Oh, we made a mistake." You made a mistake. You replaced this guy.
You told them not to hire.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel guilty when someone's a moron doesn't listen to me. Give me about an hour. At the end of the day, our job is only to introduce. You can try to sway them, and saying, here's what I like, here's what I don't like. To your point, you've told them to hire the right person. I've told people not to hire my guys before and pulled them from a process. They decided to hire them. They dealt the consequences. I can't be, this is all human nature, right? People are going to do what they think is in their best interest. They're not going to do
this guy did is outrageous. It's outrageous.
And this is one of those things where you can't kill a deal and you can't make a deal come in.
Yeah.
You're so far away in the washroom there that it's a burgling. You're not coming through clearly. Okay, wait till you finish.
I'm trying to make an espresso.
I knew it was coffee. Okay, but here's I'm going to teach you how to make Italian coffee.
Tried to kill a deal and he couldn't kill it. What?
I'm going to teach you how to make Italian coffee. I learned on YouTube. Okay,
that's what I'm drinking.
No. You gotta take an egg. Put the yolk into the cup, stir it for 5 minutes, put in a tablespoon of sugar and stir that in. Then you pour the coffee in.
I don't use sugar.
Okay, don't do it. Okay, Rich had another great line. We've beaten that one. Rich, that candidate is foolish. We disagree about candidate control. Okay, Rich says I don't have any control. Okay, there you go. And I don't have to be responsible. Oh, I'll tell you one other thing. AI can analyze someone's personality effectively from their photograph. Okay, so
I'm not buying that yet, but I'm sure
it's proven. It's proven.
Who proved it? AI?
Josh Bersin.
An AI company.
Yeah. Go figure. The same AI companies that keep telling everyone we're all going to lose our jobs. Everyone in the world's going to be out of work.
Did you see what Mark Cuban's quote the other day?
I posted that article. Yeah, I posted that. It was good.
Oh, did you?
What did he say? I didn't hear it.
He said that basically the cost of using an AI is more than it would cost you to have an employee.
Yep.
The credits and everything.
The credits,
So,
the risk, and the compliance to it.
yeah.
Now I'm going to use Rich's answer. It depends. Okay.
And now you got
does
also,
depend.
but also you've got compliance issues now. You've got legal issues are coming around now. It's gonna be interesting.
Mark Cuban wants to run for president, and he doesn't want the average American thinking that he's got a bad future.
He doesn't want the
even if
headache.
he does.
He's not gonna fucking run.
He's got too much money to run for president.
Yeah, he's not gonna run.
No. I have a client
What billionaire besides the idiot in office wants to run for president?
Dude, I have
What billionaire would ever run for president?
I have a client that helped Mark Cuban in a bar fight, actually in Texas once, right when he was getting was it broadcast.com off the ground, and Mark offered him a job, and he didn't take it, unfortunately.
Oh God.
Yeah, I mean, this guy was a really successful head of sales too. He's unfortunately passed away now, but he stayed friends with Cuban. He said he was he really was the real deal. He's a nice dude, you know. So.
Okay. Josh Bersin is not an AI company. He's a consultant for Deloitte or somewhere.
Or an AI company. Yeah.
Okay. And, he says AI can determine your big 5 traits: openness, conscientiously, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism.
Is this the guy that publishes all the publications and shit? From a photo. Oh, wow. Yeah.
And not only that, there's been lots of experiments where they get these undergrads to look at, just for a few seconds, a bunch of people's photographs, and they can pick out who are the CEOs. You can tell these things from photographs, apparently. I don't know how.
If you're so good at this, why aren't you on a national show, Animal? I mean, come on.
Exactly.
Come on.
I don't know why I'm not on a national show. We, the 4 of us, should be every week. I don't know why we're not. Okay.
Save it, You need to rename it the Animal Show Solving the World's Problems. One recruit at a time.
Yeah.
We solve any problems here, but it's our specialty. We've got a niche, okay? And in fact, Rich posted something really witty, okay, that I'm going to say, okay, that relates to what we were just talking about.
I saw that.
I don't know. He says so many witty things. He says, the CEO.
I don't even read.
The CEO of a startup wants a candidate to jump off a cliff with her, so she better be able to sell the idea that parachute is going to open. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I think all recruiters should use that. And I don't even know if it's just for a startup. Look, you want to hire this great candidate? She's jumping off a cliff. She's taking a risk for you. You better prove to her.
I have a real live example going on right now. I have a client that is
now, and he has to be in Oklahoma this week. Can we reschedule?
No, you can't.
No.
What are you asking us
sorry, guys.
for? Okay.
So I have this client right now who I have my candidate. He's got they gave him a verbal. I've placed this guy 6 times in 30 years. All right. This will be the 6th time actually. And I'm like, I can vouch for the guy. He gives the client, he's like, he needs to have references. I'm like, no one really does references anymore, but okay. I'm like, the guy's been like the head sales guy, the only salesperson at these startups, and did really well. One company, he's been at this current company for 3-4 years, past company for 2 years, they got sold to NVIDIA, prior company for 2 or 3 years, they got sold to Google. So his only really main contact was the CEOs. One guy is kind of relatively broken English, was this Chinese guy that sold his company, and the other guy is in Germany. Both these guys made hundreds of millions of dollars. And he just, he hasn't stayed in touch with them.
You're dragging it out. I'm losing. What's the
listen. All right. Long story short, the guy, long story short, they're like, well, all right, we need references. He gives them a copy. He gives them an SE. He gives them a client he sold to twice at 2 big Fortune 500 companies. And he gives a company that would be his direct ICP, his direct target for this. And they're like, those aren't good enough. They're like, we need a CEO reference that can really tell us that hell this guy showed up and he did what he said he did. And I'm like, then don't fucking hire him. I'm like, he just told you they don't exist. There's 2 guys. He can't give you his current company, and you don't want someone from 15 years ago. So what's the guy supposed to do? And I'm like, and secondly, you're a startup. You have 30 companies. Supposedly, I'm trusting you. You've got 30 clients. He's trusting you've got 30 clients. Why don't you give him some client references then too? Let's really see what your software can do. He's taking the bigger chance. You have this team. I'm like, this guy's done everything right. You gave him a 10 out of 10 in every interview. And now you're worried that your decision-making process isn't good.
I like that. So he threw it right back at his client.
No, I threw it back at them. That was me telling this to the client.
That's what I said. I meant he. I'm talking to the audience, okay?
Yeah, there we
The
go.
hypothetical audience. I'm saying, look at how great Richie Rich is. He lives by what he actually tells us. The client says, "Oh, this guy doesn't have enough references," and Rich says, "Where are your references?" Okay, big shot. Yeah, isn't that what he did? Yeah.
Well, but it's just so like hypocritical to be like, well, we need references. I'm like, you just spent your whole company just talk to the dude. I can be a reference for the guy, which I'm like, I don't really push candidates like that to a client unless I'm 110% confident. Like, this guy is a stud. This guy actually used to run these centers that they'll be selling into. Nonetheless, and he's been a startup sales guy for his whole life, and he's been the mayor. Even the guy's he's a great guy. Like, he's a great hire in every cost aspect. And I'm like, at some point, you got to trust your gut, But they had one bad experience where they hired a guy, and he just turned out to be a liar, right? So now they're like, if we did references, it would have come back that we would have known this guy was a liar. So now references are the most meaningful thing in the world to the stupid little company.
Okay, remember what I just said about hiring dickheads a few minutes ago? That the recruiter's job is to make sure that they don't hire dickheads that are going to cost them money. You are swearing. You said, "Look, I'm putting my career, my name on the line on this guy." What if they said, "Well, Rich, if you're so sure about him, why don't you give us an extension of your guarantee?"
I would have. I don't know if I offered it or not, but I would have for sure if they asked.
Okay.
Yeah,
Anybody else
like that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I gave a year guarantee on a guy one time because I told him this guy is going to knock it out of the park for you. You need to trust me on this. The guy went back and forth with you, and they finally agreed, and he's still there.
Yeah, I mean that's it. But it's like, the problem. I always have the problem giving these year guarantees because I'm like, especially because mine is startup, so it's different. But it's like, all right, do I get a piece of the bonus if this guy does really well? I mean, if I'm going to guarantee him for a year, shouldn't I get something for it? I'm taking the risk.
I'm going to ask that next time.
Yeah, you should. I mean, what do you got to lose?
We talked about that before. Like, what if you got 10% of the salary of the guy for as long as he worked there every year? Would you take that over a 25%
trailer?
Fee?
That's called the trailer. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I would take 10% of his total earnings every year.
That's what I meant. Yeah. 10% of his earnings.
Yeah, I would do that, but it's just honestly, I think it'd be so hard to track and follow. It just wouldn't be worth the headache.
Yeah, that's exactly what we said. How are you going to fucking audit your companies and shit?
Yeah, I mean, good luck getting the information from HR. They don't want to send you the offer letter.
Okay, that's recruiters who do it.
Candidates send you a W-2 every year.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, should I tell you a story about Steve Levy, or should I quote Rich Rosen again? I'll ask Steve Levy. Steve Levy was on the show in January 2023, and I just found out his old clip I made of it, and he said, "Look, you really have to understand a job in order to do good sourcing, because you can't just go by a checklist of buzzwords, because these people's profiles are not always fleshed out. You have to be able to infer a lot of things. So a newbie recruiter is going to have a very hard time doing a good job finding candidates." Is that different with AI today? Can AI support your lack of knowledge about the kind of person you're looking for?
Yeah. If you did a good enough discovery call on the with the client, and you put the client information in, you record the call, run the transcript through it, sure.
Okay, so the AI is not involved there. That's your conversation.
No, you're running that through the AI.
And it's Claude bot, right? Basically, you drop the job description in, say source candidates for this, and OpenClaw picks it up, or Claude Code picks it up. It gets 3 questions. The source of scripts hits lock.
Okay, now you're moving into a topic we've never discussed at length that you're just discovering. I was watching you. You were having a hard time. You were having a hard time. Let's just switch over. You were having a hard time figuring out how Claude Claw, or what's it called? OpenClaw?
OpenClaw and Claude. Yes, it is hard because I'm not a fucking programmer. I'm a dumbass high school graduate.
Yeah, hold on, Tommy. You've been spending a lot of time on AI, more than anybody on the show at this moment. You know a lot more than us, I'm assuming, although Rich says he uses N8N as well, which I assume takes some expertise. Okay, so it's hard to learn how to use OpenClaw. Am I right or wrong about that?
Is it hard?
I watched you try to explain it. You didn't know what you were doing, okay? You were discovering as you went. On your own show.
Yes, I'm discovering as I went. Yes, twice on my own show. I'm discovering as I went. I had to stop the show because I shared shit I shouldn't have shared. Yes, but I'm willing to be out there. I'm willing to show you. Yeah, it can be done by a dumbass like fucking me.
Dumbass. This is what he uses. He pretends he knows how to make Italian coffee when he doesn't. I have to tell him. And now he's still pretending that he's an idiot. He doesn't know how to use AI. Okay.
Which is the Metal Building Manufacturers Association website.
Save this for your show, okay? My audience can't follow this stuff. They don't have the brain.
We are your audience.
You got them right here.
There you go.
Hold on. I'll show you a prompt that people who watch this show can understand, okay?
And here's what I'm going to tell this to is that I'm going to tell this not to recruit from my clients, right? So then it now knows who my clients are. It'll never recruit from my clients.
Okay.
It'll only recruit from the companies that I want. When you tell it stuff, it remembers it. This is Claude
Let's
code.
take a survey. Who thinks here they're going to be a master of OpenClaw in the next 2 months? Anybody? Oh, Tommy. Besides Tommy, let's say Tommy.
No, I'm not going to be a master. I'm not going to be a master, but I'm using it. Like I got it right now. It goes out and it searches for jobs.
Okay. For me, that's mastery. For me, that's mastery. Okay.
And in 2 different industries, I'm doing a 3rd industry now. Like Rich, you could get it to go out and search once a week for startups, right, that are posting SaaS sales jobs and bring them all right back to you and have it in your inbox Monday morning with a list of the CSV, with the person's name who's hiring, everything. It's fucking amazing, dude.
No, I've got actually some notes about that here, okay? But let me give you a prompt. Let me give you a prompt that might actually help you do sourcing that I can read to you right now, and you'll understand it, and you can walk away with it. Teach me this topic.
Did you create it?
No, I copied it from somebody else. What do I know, okay? Okay. Teach me this topic like I'm 10 years old. Use simple language, metaphors, and examples. After each explanation, quiz me to check my understanding and reinforce learning. That's
really good because I don't use I always use explain to me like this, like I'm 10 years old. I use that all the time.
But that's why you use Prompt Cowboy and it does it all for you.
Yeah.
Okay, how would you put it into Prompt Cowboy, Big Shot?
I would put this into Prompt Cowboy and say what I'm trying to do is make a prompt that'll allow me to better understand something I don't know anything about. This is what I have so far. Please improve it.
Yeah, I can just do that. I can do better than that. I can just make a prompt so I can better understand. Do you want a topic? Is that what we're trying to do, right? That's the
but say
no, hang on.
I guess you could do that.
Hang on. But the whole point is to better understand a topic, correct?
Yeah, correct.
All right. So that's all you got to do. So you type that into Prompt Cowboy, and now it wrote the whole prompt. And so it's like I can read the whole thing if you want, but it's long. You need to develop a deep understanding of a specific topic that may be unfamiliar, complex, or requires clarification. And then it goes on and on to the task, objective, knowledge, and then here's the instructions.
What you're looking for are clues that the people you're looking at on LinkedIn actually have what you need for your job. That's what you're looking for. How would you come up with that?
How would you, like a recruiter? like you did a discovery call. So if you did a discovery call, you took all the information out. We know the guy needs to know construction. It needs to live in Maryland. It needs to do this.
Okay, so you said essentially you're saying that what Steve told us 3 years ago, okay, is actually ridiculous. Okay, he said if you're a newbie recruiter and you don't have a deep understanding of the job you're recruiting for, you're not going to see the things you can infer from the limited information in a LinkedIn profile. You're not going to understand what they're telling you.
Listen, the more experience you have, the better recruiter you're going to be. But if you have a half a brain and you start talking to people, you can start to infer. You ask the right questions, you can learn stuff. I mean, this is
you said a minute ago that you can get that information from your intake session.
If you ask the right questions, yeah.
But you don't even know what questions to ask.
Okay, so I have a prompt that you drop in and you put the role in, and it will give you questions to ask on an intake call, as well as questions to ask candidates, whether they're junior, mid-level, or senior, and the answers that they should respond with. So I could get a brand new recruiter.
But the other thing, Anil, when you go to if you're starting on your own, you don't know what you're doing, you're a moron. If you're starting in a recruiting and you're working for a firm, they're going to give you questions to ask. All right.
No, but you guys are missing the point. Steve works on the inside. There's all kinds of experts on the inside, okay? But he's saying once you go, you can't pick out the people to ask questions about. You can't identify the right people from your
stupid. Listen, you cannot help stupid. If you don't know what the fuck you're looking for, then you're a fucking idiot. Why are you even on the call? What are you doing? You're not trained enough or have the brain power enough to have a discovery call with a client. All right. And then once if you have the information from the client, if you or another recruiter took quality notes, you have enough to talk to a person about that job, because you're going to know, hey, I need someone that is, made paint, not sold paint.
Okay.
All right?
If anybody wants, you can ask Steve Levy right now to join this call.
There you go.
Steve
That'd be great
knows,
to came on.
Steve Levy knows what time.
No, it's okay. Okay. Oh, Rich, this relates back to what Ernie was bugging. I thought Ernie was really bugging Rich a little too much last week when he was saying, you have to.
This is take care, Rich.
Okay.
God,
no. But
I'm
this,
sorry, Rich.
I'm backing you up, Ernie.
That's
I'm backing
right,
you up.
Ernie.
Hold on.
I know you
didn't let me finish. You guys, so you're always against me. Okay. Rich and Tommy, they both made a big deal a few years ago about how they're getting out of G Suite and they're going to Microsoft. So I said something about that online this week, and Rich said, "Hey, wait a second. I've been back with Google for a year. Okay, I'm back with Google. Why did you make the switch back?"
You're going to say about the Crelate thing.
Why? Because just being on a Mac, Outlook is just a pain in the ass. Like I everything Microsoft is just overdone. I just don't like Microsoft products in general. Like I hate Teams. Google's got, I think it's got its own issues too, but it's just a little bit simpler in my opinion.
Okay, can I pit Tommy against you, because he made the same move. He's a Mac guy. He's still on Microsoft. He hasn't come back to Google. Why not, Tom? When Richie Rich,
why not? Make it good, Tommy. Make it good.
Yeah.
It's kind of stupid, but I like the framework of Outlook. I like the fact that it all talks together. I like that Word looks good.
Yep.
I like that Excel looks good. Google Docs is dumb. Google Sheets is stupid, right? The Drive is okay. The OneDrive is much better. And the fact that I have a business account, all this stuff. I have Teams, I have bookings, I have Word, I have Excel, I have PowerPoint, and they all talk to one another. And when I hook it up to an AI, it talks to all that shit too. So it's more seamless. Now, maybe Google can do that. I just don't like Google's UI. I think it's ugly.
Yeah,
it doesn't work for me.
I like Google better for a lot of the same reasons, but I do think the Outlook, it's funny. You kind of go through. It takes, once you get used to Outlook, it's great. Once you get used to Gmail, it's great. But that merger, while you're trying to play with both of them, it gets tough. But I mean, we all grew up on Outlook, and it's what we knew. I still think Outlook in general for Windows is great, but I just on a Mac, there's problems. It doesn't do as many things. I found the Teams was always a nightmare. Trying to get links into Teams, half the time it didn't work. I find Teams is just slow to use. Clients are always having problems with it. Like Google's not the prettiest one for meetings, but you know what? It's quick, and it's easy, and it works. And it records the calls, transcribes the calls too if you need it. I
use Google Meet more than I use Teams.
Yeah.
I will be honest with that. But my clients all use Teams, and I have clients that want me to set up the interviews. They're like, "Hey, can you set up an interview between me and Ernie Moreno tomorrow at 4:00?" Yeah, no problem. And I just use Teams for that because they're using Teams. It's in Outlook. I send it. It's perfect. It connects to Loxo, right? It's like a lot of the stuff that I do is because of the ease of for my clients, not for me.
But let me just
figure out
one thing.
Ernie,
when I listen to Tom and I listen to Rich, I learn. They go out and they're at the forefront of doing this stuff. And somebody like me would say, "Okay, I'll try that. I'll not." They'll go back, but they make the mistakes because they're willing to take a chance.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, Google Outlook, Google or Outlook, it's personal choice. I mean, they're the same price essentially. They do the same things. It's do you like a Honda or a Toyota? It's the same car basically, right? Toyota, Lexus, I guess. But they're no real. I don't know if one's theoretically better than the other. I think it's just personal choice. What works better for you and your way you operate.
take care. Bye. Bye.
Bye, guys.